Most people could not name 20 presidents, but everybody knows who Jeffrey Dahmer is. And the one victim that was somehow able to escape into law enforcement, and Jeffrey Dahmer retrieved him and said he was the guardian or... Well, this next thing reminds me of that Jeffrey Dahmer escapee. So a friend of mine called me at his daughter's baseball game and sent me this. It's a green-winged macaw that is in this tree. So my friend called me. I called someone in the area that keeps their birds free. So this woman appears who seems a little out of control, screaming at everybody to get away. She's yelling at the bird. It's a bad bird. Why is it a bad bird? Because he wants to be free? It wants to do what it's supposed to be doing, so that makes it a bad bird?
She knows she's a bad girl. Come on, Em. Hey, come on, run. Your favorite. Nice. You want to come down to Mama? You know what? I'm going to drive my Jeep up here, and I'm going to get up on top of my Jeep.
So it's a bad bird because it wants to be what's natural, because he wants away from her. She jumps up on her Jeep. She grabs it. It's screaming. Feathers are flying. Then she restrains it and she's trying to act like it's normal. She's holding its feet so it's immobilized. And then she's holding its feathers so it can't move. And listen, people are cheering her on. It's disgusting. It's just like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, returning it to its prison, to the end. I learned that woman is a breeder, which to me, selling crack is more admirable than breeding these animals for money, making a living off selling these birds. This is what they're meant to do. They're not meant to be our prisoners. They're not meant to be dependent on us. They're not meant for us to make decisions for them. She yanked that bird out of the tree. Those feathers went flying and it screamed. I don't know in today's society how something so ignorant can be so pervasive and nobody does anything about it. She's a breeder and with a less than stellar reputation. Those birds will never get to do what they're meant to do, which is this. Most people are familiar with Handmaid's Tale, and it's riveting and terrifying, where women are breeders. That's what women are breeders. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting that we force these birds to breed so we can have money. Seriously, try and picture if you were forced to live with someone you could not stand and you had to have sex with them all the time. Well, I guess a lot of marriages are like that, but that's most of the time by choice. These have no choice. Okay, back to Jeffrey Dahmer. These two little blue and golds I purchased in Tennessee, and they were to stay at Brandy's Macaws in Flight Sanctuary as long as they were unrestricted. And she could never sell, rehome, trade, adopt out, give away, none of that. Any problem, she's to contact me immediately and I pick them up. I'm only 3 hours away. I cannot fathom what she did. To go from fear and terror to this beautiful life, and now they're back in they're sent back to Jeffrey Dahmer's. They're sitting in enclosures. And she was fine dumping them off at this Brokeback Karen's ranch, who dumped him off on somebody else after she professed her undying love and commitment to them. And they were mine. All right, this is from Brandy. They seem very happy emoji. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, prayer emoji. For the rest of my life, smile emoji. I've been given so many second chances, and giving them a chance at a life of peace is such an honor. I could never repay you for your guidance, for giving me this opportunity, Heidi. Thank you. Bird sister forever. Okay. Now, actually, I had some really good times with Brandy, but this really pushed me over the edge. This is it right here. This is what kicked off my distaste for her and exposed who she really is. She sent this when I returned to Nevada. This is what I got. I have texts that you admit leaving crystal meth in my house and video of you talking about, that says taking, but should say talking about kicking 2-year-olds in the head. That'll look really good in your upcoming case. That paired with threatening to have my children taken from their school and you're locked up again. Okay, so she wants to lock me up and deprive all these birds that I care for from the heaven that they've finally made it to, and the ones that no one's coming after unless I try harder. And she tells me, my best bet is to get some sleep and forget we ever cross paths again. I never thought about this girl in over 30 years, and she reached out to me feigning interest in macaws. I flew out there 3 times. I say I spent over $40,000, but when I look at my bank records, it's more. This is not a game for me. I've been doing this almost 17 years and a lifetime to go. And she threatens to put me in jail, displace my birds. She dumps these babies I've rescued from fear and terror and gave them a beautiful life. She dumps them off at Brokeback Mountain, who she met on TikTok. And she can't understand why she's gonna have a big, big problem. The best she can come up with is this insanity about kidnapping or something. Everyone knows I don't like kids. I don't hang around the playgrounds. I'm never around kids. If I wanted kids, I would have had kids. I'm into birds. Well, this really speaks volumes about things. All she had to do was give me my birds back, retrieve my 2 birds, tell me when I can pick them up in Texas, and the scarlet that she still has, and this is done. But she wants to carry it on. And when I was there, she told me her dream in life is to be famous. That's all she wants to do is be famous. She has no problem returning the birds to this. This is perfectly fine with her. Doesn't matter one bit. Back to Jeffrey Dahmer's. After she sent me that threatening text, I was gonna retrieve my birds immediately. But she reached out to a good friend of mine, and some of her people reached out to me about how they were living unrestricted and she was taking the best care possible. So I stepped back and thought, it's best for the birds because they really love the forest. Oh, I should have retreated. Look at this. They went from fear and terror to that. And she sent them back to Jeffrey Dahmer. Back to the cage. Because she never cared. She wants to be famous. She wants to be on the Real Housewives, like one of those things, which is never going to happen with her history. And of course, I'm going to talk to her murdering boyfriends. I will do everything I can until my birds are back with me. And I should have followed my instincts and retrieved them immediately. There's things happening with the situation, and I will update it soon.